I discovered my fiancé lied about a girls-only trip, so I stranded her across the country, changed the locks and ended it all. I'm a 32-year-old male and have been working for Delta for the past 11 years. I started as a baggage handler during college, moved to ground operations and, now I oversee route scheduling and crew assignments for West Coast flights. It's not the career I planned, but it pays well enough, $92,000 plus bonuses, and the travel perks are unbeatable: free flights, companion passes, hotel discounts, priority boarding, upgrades when available, you name it. My job involves a lot of high-pressure scheduling and quick problem-solving. When weather hits the West Coast, I'm the guy coordinating with dispatch to reroute flights, reassign crews, and minimize passenger disruption. Most people don't realize that a single delayed flight in Seattle can mess up connections in 12 different cities. I have to see those domino effects before they happen. I've worked my way up by being reliable. When the Los Angeles International Airport terminal flooding happened last year, I pulled a 22-hour shift, making sure every stranded passenger had options. My boss called it impressive dedication, but honestly, it's just the job. That work ethic carries over to everything else in my life. Before all this went down, I was engaged to Lana, a 29-year-old female, for almost a year. We were together for 4 years and met at a friend's Super Bowl party back in 2020. She was working as a pharmaceutical sales representative, making decent money herself, though she always complained about how her boss undervalued her and how she deserved more, the kind of person who always felt entitled to the best of everything. Our apartment was a decent 2-bedroom in Cambridge, not cheap at $2,800 a month, but the location was worth it. I handled most of the rent since I had the higher salary. Lana contributed to utilities and groceries, usually about $700 monthly, though she'd forget half the time, and I'd end up covering it. When we first started dating, Lana seemed amazing, ambitious, fun, spontaneous. She got along with my friends, and she had this energy that made everything more exciting. My buddy Marcus always joked that I'd outkicked my coverage with her, and maybe I believed it too. Over time, I noticed how much Lana loved flaunting our relationship online. Not just normal couple stuff, but specifically the perks, the surprise trips to Las Vegas, the first-class upgrades, the spontaneous weekend getaways to San Diego or Portland that were only possible because of my flight benefits. Her Instagram was basically a travel blog subsidized by my employee discounts. I upgraded my Delta benefits package specifically to get the premium companion passes, which cost me an extra $75 per paycheck, but it meant Lana could fly first class with me for just the taxes and fees. When I think about it now, our relationship milestones were always celebrated with trips I planned and mostly paid for. My mom never fully warmed to her. She's always performing, never just being, she told me once. I brushed it off as the usual mother-in-law tension. My brother Derek, a 35-year-old male, was more direct. After Lana had a meltdown over the catering options at our engagement party, he pulled me aside and asked if I was sure about all this. "She seems high maintenance, bro," he said. I told him he just didn't understand her. Classic blindness of a man in love, right? Sam, a 32-year-old male and my best friend since 3rd grade, was even more skeptical. He'd been around for every relationship I'd ever had and never minced words about Lana. Nice packaging, questionable contents, he told me after meeting her the first time. I laughed it off. Sam and I had been rebuilding a 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge for the better part of 6 years, spending weekends in his garage, slowly bringing it back to life. Lana hated those weekends, calling them my escape from adulting, like it was a bad thing. That GTO has been my dream car since I was 12. I found it rotting in a barn in western Massachusetts and paid $11,000 for what was essentially a rusted shell with a seized engine. Sam had the mechanic skills from his time working at his uncle's garage, and I brought the passion and the parts budget. Every Saturday for 6 years, we'd work on different aspects, rebuilding the quadrajet carburetor, restoring the bucket seats, tracking down original Orbit orange paint. I'd drive straight from overnight shifts to Sam's place, running on nothing but black coffee and determination. Lana never understood the appeal. "It's just going to break down anyway," she'd say, or, "That's another vacation we could have taken instead." But Sam and I knew what we were creating wasn't just transportation, it was mechanical art. Last month, Lana announced that her best friend Tori was organizing a girls-only bachelorette party weekend in Los Angeles for their friend Kelsey, who was getting married. In June, Lana had been stressing over a certification exam for work and complained about needing a break from adulting, so I thought the trip would be good for her. I even used my Delta employee discount to book her a first-class ticket to Los Angeles International Airport and upgraded her hotel room as a surprise, costing me $350 in upgrade fees. But I wanted her to feel special. That's what fiancés do, right? The Thursday before her trip, I helped Lana pack. She couldn't shut up about spa appointments and some rooftop pool party they'd managed to get on the list for. When I dropped her at the airport Friday morning, she kissed me goodbye with, "Don't worry, it's just us girls, no guys allowed." Then she laughed like we shared some inside joke. Friday night, I was working late, managing a weather delay situation in Seattle that was causing a chain reaction across our network. Around 9:00 p.m., I took a quick break and checked my phone. There was a Snapchat notification from Tori's private story, which was weird because we weren't close. We'd met maybe a dozen times, and I only followed her to be polite when Lana insisted. I opened it without thinking much about it, expecting to see the standard bachelorette nonsense. Maybe some ridiculous bride tribe shirts or penis straws or whatever the hell women do at these things. Instead, I saw Lana at what looked like a yacht party, not just at the party but sitting on some jack dude's lap, his hands on her hips, her arm around his neck. She was wearing the $290 sundress I'd bought her for her birthday last month. Tori's caption read, "Day 1, and Lana's already found her LA boyfriend, sorry Jason," with a laughing emoji. I felt like someone had punched me in the throat. I watched the video loop 3 times, noticing new details each time. Lana was doing that hair twirl thing she does when she's flirting. Then came more posts. A group shot at some club on Sunset Boulevard with 4 guys I'd never seen before. Lana dancing with Lap guy, who I could now see was wearing a Rolex and designer clothes, probably some tech bro or entertainment industry douche. A boomerang of them taking shots, his arm wrapped around her waist. Another video of them whispering and laughing, with Tori narrating. The chemistry is real, y'all. So much for no guys allowed. My first instinct was to call and confront her immediately, but then something clicked in my brain, a weird cold clarity I'd never experienced before. I put my phone down, muted notifications, and went back to managing the Seattle delay situation with laser focus. My coworker Dave actually commented on how calm I was despite the chaos. The Seattle situation was a mess, mechanical issues with a 737-900 combined, with fog rolling in, creating a cascade of problems across our entire West Coast network. 63 flights were affected, impacting over 4,000 passengers to reroute or accommodate, but somehow, I handled it all with methodical precision. When my shift ended at midnight, I drove home in complete silence, just me and my thoughts, forming into something that felt less like anger and more like a strategic plan. Back at our apartment, I opened my laptop and logged into the Delta employee portal. Lana's return flight was scheduled for Monday morning, at 10:30 a.m., direct from Los Angeles International Airport to Boston. I clicked on the passenger information, noting she was flying on my companion benefit with my employee authorization code. Company policy on this is crystal clear. These benefits require verification of relationship status. They're for spouses, domestic partners, and immediate family only. I didn't technically cancel her ticket. That might have violated policy. Instead, I formally updated my relationship status in the HR system and removed her from my benefits, effective immediately. The system would automatically flag her reservation, requiring payment verification at check-in. Since the companion benefit was now invalid, she'd still have her seat. She'd just need to pay for it at last-minute pricing. That Los Angeles-Boston route would cost around $950. This wasn't just about petty revenge. Delta's benefit verification gets audited regularly, and having someone listed who wasn't actually my partner could technically be considered fraud. I was simply updating my personal information to reflect reality. The fact that it would cause her major inconvenience was just a bonus. But that wasn't enough. Lana had screwed me over after 4 years and an $8,700 engagement ring. This deserved something special. I called my friend Ryan, a 34-year-old male who works in IT at the corporate headquarters. We go way back to college, and he owed me big time after I let him use my flight benefits to visit his long-distance girlfriend for a year. "Hey man, weird request. You still have access to the reservation system?" I asked. "Yeah, why? Planning a surprise trip?" He laughed. "Not exactly. I need a favor, but it stays between us. I explained the situation. Ryan was quiet for a minute. Damn, that's cold from her. What do you need? I need you to flag her profile in the system. Nothing illegal. Just make it trigger extra security screening, and maybe mark her bags for random inspection. I can do one better, Ryan said. I can add a note that she's been rude to flight staff before. It won't prevent her from flying, but it'll ensure she gets the absolute minimum level of service. Perfect, I said. After hanging up with Ryan, I texted Sam, "You around tomorrow? Need a hand with something." His reply came seconds later. "For you, always." "Everything okay?" "Not now, but it will be. I'll explain tomorrow." Next, I spent 4 hours cataloging our shared possessions, making detailed notes about what belonged to whom. 4 years together meant a lot of accumulated stuff with blurred ownership lines. I created a detailed spreadsheet, categorizing items as mine, hers, or shared, with purchase dates and approximate values. This wasn't just being petty, it was protecting myself legally. Massachusetts law treats property division between unmarried couples as a matter of concrete evidence. Whoever can prove they paid for something generally gets to keep it. I packed up all her things, designer clothes, many I'd paid for, into suitcases, expensive makeup and skincare into boxes, and the jewelry I'd given her over 4 years into a secure case, except for the engagement ring, which was legally mine until marriage, according to Massachusetts law. I took photos of everything as I packed it, creating a digital inventory with timestamps. I even recorded video as I carefully wrapped her grandmother's china in bubble wrap and placed it securely in storage bins. If she tried to claim I damaged anything, I'd have proof. I found her passport in our safe and took it out. She had a work trip to Toronto scheduled the week after her return. Wouldn't want her to miss that. I didn't hide it, just relocated it to a box that would be hard to find in a hurry. While packing, I found a hidden folder on our shared laptop with screenshots of conversations between Lana and Tori. Apparently this wasn't the first time she'd gone on a girls' trip that involved other men. There were texts discussing a weekend in Miami 3 months ago where she'd apparently hooked up with a hot Brazilian entrepreneur, and plans for this Los Angeles trip, specifically mentioning connecting with Chris's friends who would show them a good time. Chris, that must be the lap guy's name. I took screenshots of everything. Then I called my brother Derek and told him I needed help tomorrow to move some things to storage. Next, I texted Lana's sister Melissa, a 27-year-old female who I actually got along with pretty well. Unlike Lana, Melissa was down to earth, worked as an elementary school teacher, and had always been straight with me. "Hey Mel, weird question. Are you home tomorrow? Need to drop something off." "Yeah, I'll be around. Everything okay with you guys? We need to talk in person. I'll come by around 3:00 p.m. By 3:00 a.m., I'd researched local storage facilities and found one with 24/7 access and climate control for $89 a month. I booked a 10x10 unit online and paid for 3 months up front. Better safe than sorry. All this time, Lana was sending me innocent updates. "Miss you. The spa at the W is amazing. Kelsey says, thanks for the champagne upgrade. We're hitting Nobu tonight. Wish you were here, XOXO. Each message was carefully crafted to maintain the fiction of a girls-only bachelorette weekend. I replied with equally casual messages, glad you're enjoying it. Tell Kelsey, congrats again. Meanwhile, I was systematically untangling our lives. I checked all our subscription services, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Spotify, Family Plan, and either changed passwords or removed her profiles. I contacted our renter's insurance to update the policy to just my name. I called credit card companies to remove her as an authorized user on my accounts. Saturday morning, Sam showed up at my door with coffee and donuts, took one look at me, and said, "Wow, you look like crap." That's Sam. Brutally honest without an ounce of malice. I showed him the Snapchat videos, and he just nodded slowly, like he'd been expecting this all along. My brother arrived an hour later and nearly lost it when I explained everything and showed him the videos. "I always knew she was fake as hell," he said, helping me load boxes into his truck. "What's the plan with all her stuff?" "Some to her sisters, some to storage that she can deal with later." "You sure you don't want to just set it on fire in the driveway? That's what I'd do." Derek had gone through a nasty divorce 2 years ago, so his view on relationships was pretty scorched earth. "Nah, I'm playing this smart." "Smart move," Sam agreed. "Less satisfying than a bonfire, but fewer felony charges." Sam helped me dismantle the bed frame and move it to the spare room. Derek and I loaded up his F-150 with the first batch of Lana's things. It took us 3 trips to get everything to the storage unit. By 2:00 p.m., her presence in the apartment was reduced to gaps on shelves and empty hangers in the closet. By Saturday evening, I'd rearranged the living room furniture, moving the couch to where she had insisted it couldn't go. Better viewing angle for the TV anyway. I reset the Nest thermostat to 68 degrees instead of her preferred 74. Small changes that made the space mine again. While Derek, Sam and I were moving things, my phone kept lighting up with new Snapchat updates. Lana and Chris at brunch. Lana and Chris on a hike in Runyon Canyon. Lana and Chris shopping on Rodeo Drive, where he apparently bought her a designer handbag. Tori's captions got progressively more explicit about what she thought was happening between them, guessing. She's not thinking about that certification exam anymore, Sam muttered after seeing the latest update. That afternoon, I drove to Melissa's apartment in Somerville with 2 suitcases of Lana's most essential items. When she opened the door, her eyes went wide at the luggage. "What's going on?" I showed her my phone with the Snapchat stories. Her face fell as she swiped through them. "Jesus Christ," she muttered. "What a stupid, selfish bitch." That's when I knew I had an ally. "There's more," I said, showing her the screenshots I'd found. Melissa looked like she might throw up. "The Miami trip? She told me that was a work conference." "Well, she was working something, just not pharmaceuticals," I said. Melissa actually laughed, then caught herself. "Sorry, that's not funny. I can't believe her. I'm so sorry, Jason." "Not your fault," I said. "But I need a favor. Can you hold on to these things for her? I'll be changing the locks Monday." "Of course," she agreed. "What else can I do? Just act normal if she contacts you and maybe be available Monday when she gets back. She's going to need a place to stay." "She made her bed," Melissa said firmly. "Or someone else's bed, apparently." Before I left, I handed her an envelope containing Lana's passport and a note explaining that she had 30 days to arrange pickup of her things from storage before I donated them. Saturday night, I took inventory of the kitchen and realized how many small appliances had been her additions. The fancy coffee maker? Gone. The air fryer? Gone. The kitchen suddenly seemed emptier but more functional. I made a list of replacements I'd need, basic versions that would do the job without the Instagram appeal, added them to my Amazon cart for later, ordered a pizza, watched a basketball game I didn't care about, and went to bed early in the guest room. I couldn't bring myself to sleep in our bed yet. It didn't matter anyway, I barely slept. Sunday morning, I received a text from an unknown number. "Hey, this is Kelsey, the supposed bride from the bachelorette party. We need to talk." I was surprised. I'd met Kelsey a few times but didn't have her number. I called rather than texted. "Jason, thanks for calling." She sounded upset. "I don't know how to tell you this, but there is no bachelorette party, at least not for me." "What?" "I'm in Boston. I've been here all weekend. My bachelorette party is next month in Nashville. I just found out they've been using my name as a cover." My mind was reeling. "How did you find out?" "Tori's roommate, Rachel, is my actual friend. She saw Tori packing and asked about the bachelorette weekend. When Tori mentioned me, Rachel was confused because she knew I was home. She called me. I denied knowing anything about Los Angeles, and she showed me some of the Snapchat posts. I'm disgusted they used me as their alibi. So, not only was Lana cheating, but they had fabricated an entire bachelorette party as cover. That was some next-level deception. "I thought you should know," Kelsey continued. "And for what it's worth, I always thought you deserved better than Lana. The way she talks about you when you're not around, it's not how someone should talk about their fiancé." That stung, but I appreciated her honesty. "Thanks for telling me." After hanging up, I got a call from Ryan at Delta. "Hey, just wanted to update you. I did what you asked, plus I found something interesting. Your fiancée changed her return flight last night. She's now booked on a Tuesday flight, not Monday. She extended her trip without telling me." "Yep. And get this, she tried to upgrade herself to Delta One using your employee code, which wouldn't work anymore because you removed her from your benefits. She actually called customer service and threw a fit about it, saying there must be a system error. The agent made a note about her being extremely rude and threatening. Lana hadn't bothered to tell me she was staying longer, probably wanting extra time with Chris. The audacity was actually impressive. "One more thing," Ryan added. I looked at her original booking. The 3 of them, Lana, Tori, and someone named Ashley, are all on the same reservation, but they're not staying at the W Hollywood like you thought. The hotel listed in their profile is an Airbnb in Venice Beach. So, the story about enjoying the W spa was also a lie, just another piece in this elaborate deception. Thanks, Ryan. I owe you one. Nah, we're even now. Some women, man. This is why I'm still single. Sunday night, Lana texted me, "Hey babe, slight change of plans. Kelsey's having such a good time, we're staying until Tuesday. That okay?" I replied, "No problem, have fun." Meanwhile, I was executing the final stages of my plan. Monday morning, I took the day off work and met with a locksmith who changed all the locks on our apartment. It cost me $375, but it was worth every penny. Then I went to my bank and removed Lana from our joint checking account, transferring my portion to a new account. We kept most of our finances separate, but we shared this one account for household expenses. Her name was still on it, but now it contained exactly $1,742, her share of our last utility bill. The bank manager asked if everything was okay. I simply said, "Relationship change," and he nodded knowingly. No further questions. I added a verbal password to my main account as an extra security measure and changed my direct deposit information at work to route to the new account. I called our landlord and explained the situation, making it clear that I would be taking over the lease solo and that Lana was no longer an authorized resident. Technically, both our names were on it, but since I had always made the payments from my account, he was understanding. Then I went through our apartment and collected every item that held sentimental value for Lana. All went into a box labeled storage. Open first that I knew she wouldn't see for weeks. I wasn't destroying anything. That would be petty. I was simply ensuring she wouldn't have immediate access to the comfort these items provided. I reorganized the living space to be more functional for one person, moved my gaming setup into the main room where her vanity used to be, and set up the spare bedroom as a home office with the desk that had been in storage. I changed all the Wi-Fi passwords and updated the cable package to include sports channels I'd wanted but she'd vetoed. The last step, I contacted our friends and family members who needed to know, giving them a brief, factual account. Not to badmouth Lana, but to control the narrative before she could spin some story about me overreacting. Throughout the day, Lana continued texting me normal updates, even sent a group photo of her, Tori, and Ashley with Kelsey, who was clearly not there, badly photoshopped in. The lengths they were going to maintain this lie were almost admirable. "Miss you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Got you a little surprise from LA. My phone's about to die, and I forgot my charger. Text you from the hotel later." I responded minimally, just enough to avoid suspicion. Monday night, I hit the gym for the first time in months. Lana had always complained that my evening workouts cut into our time. I did a solid hour of weights, followed by 30 minutes on the treadmill. I felt better than I had in weeks. I spent the evening setting up notifications on my credit monitoring services, changed passwords on all my accounts, removed her as my emergency contact at work, updated my car insurance to remove her as an additional driver, and called my health insurance to make sure she couldn't make claims as my domestic partner anymore. Tuesday morning arrived, the day of her new flight. I knew exactly when she'd discover that her companion pass was no longer valid. Her flight was scheduled for 11:30 a.m. Pacific, which meant she'd try to check in around 9:30. At 9:47 a.m., my phone exploded with notifications. First, a text, "Jason, there's something wrong with my ticket. The system says I need to pay $950. Then a call I didn't answer. Then another text, "Call me. The Delta people are saying your employee benefit isn't working." I imagined her at the check-in counter, her face flushed with anger and panic as the agent explained that she would need to purchase a new ticket at the current rate, the confusion turning to realization as she figured out what happened. By 10:15 a.m., the tone had changed. "Please, Jason, I know you're at work, but I need you to fix this. I'm going to miss my flight. I don't have enough on my cards for this ticket. Please call the airline. I don't understand what's happening. Please help me." At 11:40 to 5 a.m., after her flight had departed without her, I missed the flight. "I'm stuck at LAX. Please answer me." Then came the call to her sister. I know this happened because Melissa texted me, "Lana just called in full panic mode. Says she's stranded in LA and needs money for a flight." I played dumb, She has no idea what's coming. By 2:00 p.m., Lana's texts turned desperate. Jason, please, if you're mad about something, just tell me. Don't leave me stranded across the country. I had to get an airport hotel for tonight. Cost me my last available credit. Please call me back. Around 6:00 p.m., her friend Tori must have left, because now Lana was truly alone. Her text became frantic. I know you know something. Whatever you think happened, I can explain. Please just call me. I made a mistake. We need to talk. Please don't throw away 4 years like this. I maintained radio silence, letting her stew in it overnight. I texted Sam, it's showtime. She just figured out her return ticket isn't valid, he replied. And the Oscar for Best Performance in a Completely Avoidable Disaster goes to... I went to work as usual. Handled a minor issue. With crew scheduling on a Seattle-Denver route, went to lunch with my coworkers, and kept my phone in my desk, focused on the job. After work, I drove home and watched ESPN while eating dinner. I started researching weekend trips I could take with my employee benefits. San Francisco looked good for late May. Wednesday morning, Lana managed to book herself on a basic economy red-eye that landed in Boston at 5:43 a.m. I know this because she texted me her flight details, probably hoping I'd pick her up. I did not. Instead, I went to the gym at 5:00 a.m., got in a full workout, then headed to the office early. I told my supervisor I might need flexibility with time off in the coming weeks to deal with personal matters. He was understanding. At 6:30 a.m., the security camera I'd installed on our apartment door showed Lana trying her key, looking confused when it didn't work. She rang the doorbell repeatedly, then started pounding on the door. After about 10 minutes, she gave up and called someone, probably an Uber. At 7:15 a.m., Melissa texted me. She just showed up at my place looking like hell. I gave her the passport and your note. Shit's about to hit the fan. Sure enough, my phone started blowing up with calls and texts from Lana. Are you freaking kidding me? You went through my computer? You had no right to look at my private conversations. You're insane if you think those Snapchats meant anything. We were just having fun. You can't just throw me out of my home. I'm on the lease too. Where the F is all my stuff? I finally responded with one text. Check your email for the storage unit information. You have 30 days. Also, there was no bachelorette party. Kelsey's in Boston. You might want to come up with a better lie next time. That shut her up for about an hour. Then came the shift in tactics. Jason, please, I know I messed up. Can we please just talk about this? I never slept with him, I swear. It was just flirting. I got carried away. 4 years together and you won't even hear me out? Is that how little I mean to you? Please, I love you. I made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. I didn't respond to any of it. Instead, I went to work, where I received unexpected praise for how I'd handled a major flight disruption the previous Friday. You know, the night I discovered my fiancé cheating. My boss actually said, "Whatever you've got going on in your personal life, it's making you sharper at work." If he only knew. I found myself actually focusing better at work. No more checking in with Lana every few hours. No more adjusting my schedule to match hers. Just pure focus on the tasks at hand. By afternoon, Lana's sister got involved again. She texted me. Lana's a complete wreck. She admitted everything to me. Apparently, this guy Chris is some mid-level producer who promised to help her get into pharmaceutical sales for movie productions or some BS. Said it was networking at first, but feelings developed. God, my sister is an idiot. Wednesday night, I stopped by Sam's place with a case of soda and some pizza. We spent a few hours working on the GTO's electrical system, rewiring the dash that had been giving us trouble for months. The methodical work was exactly what I needed. How you holding up? Sam asked while crimping a connector. Better than expected, I said. It's like I'm in a weird zone of clarity. That'll pass, he warned. But when the anger hits, come here and wrench on the car instead of doing something stupid. That night, a few of her friends tried calling, probably coached by Lana. I didn't answer a single one. Thursday morning, Lana showed up at my workplace. Security called up to warn me, and I instructed them not to let her in. She apparently caused such a scene they threatened to call the police. After work, I stopped by a local department store and bought new bedding for the master bedroom. Plain navy blue, no decorative pillows or matching curtains required. I finally reclaimed my own bed that night and slept like a rock. By Thursday evening, the begging reached new levels. Please, Jason, I can't afford the hotel much longer. All my stuff is in storage. I have nothing. I didn't even sleep with him. We just kissed a little. That's it. This contradicted what she told her sister, but whatever. The lies were stacking up so high she couldn't keep them straight. I spent Thursday evening completely reorganizing my finances. I created a new budget spreadsheet without Lana's expenses and realized I could actually save an extra $430 a month without covering her shortfalls on bill payments. I started researching investment options I'd been putting off, and even set up automatic transfers to my 401k to max out my contribution, something Lana had always said was unnecessary since we could enjoy life now. Then, suddenly, Lana's mother called me. I actually answered out of respect. Jason, what is going on? Lana is absolutely destroyed. Did she tell you what she did in LA? She said you're overreacting to some innocent flirting at a bachelorette party. I laughed. Catherine, there was no bachelorette party. Your daughter went to LA to hook up with some guy she had been planning to meet for 2 months. I have the screenshots. Silence on the other end. Then, I don't believe you. That's fine. Check your inbox in 5 minutes. I spent Friday night updating my resume and LinkedIn profile, something I'd neglected for years. I found 3 job opportunities that looked promising at other airlines with better management structures and submitted applications to all 3. Not that I wanted to leave Delta immediately, but options never hurt. By Friday night, Lana had apparently run out of money in options. Her final text to me read, "I'm staying at Mom's for now. I'll contact you about getting my things from storage when I figure things out. I know you hate me right now, and you have every right to." What I did was unforgivable. It was the first honest thing she'd said all week. The next day, I finally got around to canceling our wedding venue and photographer. I lost the deposits, of course, $3,500 down the drain. Still cheaper than a divorce would have been. I called my parents to give them the full story before they heard rumors. Dad was surprisingly philosophical. Better to find out now than after the wedding. Mom just asked if I was eating properly, typical mom concern. It's been 3 weeks now. I returned the engagement ring to the jeweler and got about 60% of what I paid for it, which still covered the cost of changing the locks and then some. Lana arranged to get her things from storage without drama. Her sister Melissa and I still text occasionally. Turns out, Lana had been lying to her family about lots of things for years. The apartment feels weirdly peaceful now. I sleep better. I work better. I picked up a new leather couch and a 75-inch TV the next weekend. Call it a breakup investment. I heard through mutual friends that Lana is staying with her parents in New Hampshire, looking for pharmaceutical sales jobs up there. Apparently, Chris, the Hollywood producer, ghosted her after all this drama. Shocking. When she came to get her stuff from storage, she left the designer handbag he had bought her. I found it when doing a final check of the unit and donated it to a women's shelter, along with some other high-end items she forgot. Tori tried to apologize through a mutual friend, claiming she was just supporting her friend's happiness. I told the mutual friend that anyone who helps someone cheat isn't a friend worth having. I've spent most weekends at Sam's garage, finally finishing the work on the GTO Judge we'd been restoring since our mid-20s. Lana used to complain about it, said it was a waste of money that could be spent on vacations or furniture, but Sam and I knew better. You don't rush something built to last. We replaced the Rochester Quadrajet carburetor with a period-correct rebuilt one I found from a specialist in Michigan. It cost $650. But the throttle response was worth every penny. We put in new valve springs, rebuilt the transmission, and installed fresh weather stripping. All around, all the little details that separate a proper restoration from a quick flip. Last Saturday, we finally got her running. That 400 cubic inch V8 roared to life after years of patient work. The Judge gleamed in orbit orange, every chrome piece polished to a mirror finish. Sam tossed me the keys without a word. We drove along the coast with the windows down, the engine rumbling beneath us. After a while, Sam cracked a grin and said, "Man, if that engine growled any harder, Lana would have found a way to cheat on it too." Sometimes, the best restoration jobs are the ones you do on yourself. I've used my airline benefits twice since everything happened, took a solo trip to Seattle, then visited my college roommate in Chicago last weekend. One seat, no companion pass, no drama. I got an email from a recruiter at United Airlines. They want an interview next month for a senior operations position. 15% more salary than what I'm making now, better route options. It might be exactly the fresh start I need. Sometimes the best revenge isn't a screaming match or a grand finale. It's walking away so quietly they have to sit alone with what they destroyed. The comfortable life she took for granted is gone because she couldn't keep her word or her legs closed.